Welcome to the channel. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of the new subscribers. Glad you guys are enjoying the content. And we're about to get into that right now. What we're getting into is Donovan Mitchell. Full breakdown of his animations, badges, and stats. Is he a meta point guard? So on paper, he looks good. He's got great speed, great elite dunking on paper. He's got a lot of the good badges, but there are some badges that I see that don't quite measure up to Marcus Smart on certain sides of the floor. So I think with a character like Donovan, it does come down to the animations. And one thing I'm noticing right away is he has a good signature left stick dribble, which most people don't think about. But you're going to use this stuff. Like, this is important for your character, especially when you're holding left stick like so, and you're behind the screen. You know, so when the characters move a little more swiftly like this, that's actually a good thing. So I kind of like that about him already. Let's look at his hot zones. Okay, so these are good hot zones, don't get me wrong. But when a point guard is going to have the ball, he's 6'3", I'd probably play him at the point, although you can play him at the 2. I like them to have this hot zone in particular. I don't really care too much about the corner. They're not going to be shooting that much from the corner. But it's just hot zones. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But I prefer he had that, but they're solid. He has a lot of hot zones. He's no Marcus Smart, but he's got a lot of hot zones. His behind the back's pretty good. Let's look at some of his other signature. Actually, let's look at his shot release first. Very nice shot release. Gorgeous shot release. Mediocre step back. Let's put these cards in these mediocre step backs. Very nice shot release, though. You can just tell. It's got a really good release. He's got almost the exact same three-point rating as Marcus Smart, which is Marcus I think is 93 and Donovan's a 92. So this guy can really shoot the ball. He's running for about 64, 65K right now. So we're determining if he's worth that price. Off the bat, I'm going to say, yeah, he's probably worth that price. Whereabouts? Because he's got all the good stuff. Ooh, look at that momentum cross. His momentum cross is outstanding. Momentum behind the back's really good too. Let's look at those again. Momentum. Wow, he launches out of that too. Yeah. Well, so it almost looks like he has two different kinds, like depending on what angle you do it at. Because he did the double. It might be his stamina that's changing it because he has a 86 ball control. So when you run out of stamina, your ball control changes. But it should be a 91 for him with my coaching boost. I don't know. But yeah, his momentum's really strong. His momentum behind the back's really strong. His behind the back's really strong. Let's take a look at his oh, what a spin move. Yeah, this guy's got some really nice animations. Let's check out the hezzy. So I'm looking at all of the key guard dribbles. He doesn't have the glitchy hezzy. Yeah, he doesn't have the glitchy hezzy, but he does have a good shooter hezzy. That's a nice shooter hezzy. He can pull up off of that, although it's a little slow. I'll say that. With Marcus Smart, his animations blended really well. With Donovan, he doesn't cancel his hezzy. Okay, he can cancel his hezzy, but it's a little softer. Yeah, he doesn't. You notice some characters like you're like, oh, I got a leaner there. He gives you the leaner. You have to let his hezzy go a little bit. You can't just cancel it right away. So that's something important to know. You gotta let the hezzy start, and then you can cancel it. Some characters you can cancel the hezzy even before the animation begins. So there, he canceled it early. So you got to get it right past the window of somebody who's really fast with it. Once you let it start to go a little bit, you can cancel the hezzy. So it's strong for shooters. He doesn't have the hezzy where he can like go the same direction over and over. All right, so let's look at his full court dribbles, his full-on turbo dribbles. First between the legs. He does same as Marcus Smart. He has a little hesitation on the between the legs. Doesn't create the most space. He slows down a little bit. I don't love that he slows down. Let's look at his behind the back, which is the most important one. He's the same as Marcus Smart. Very similar to Marcus Smart. Let's look at his crossover. Oh, he did it between the legs. That is my bad. Such a hard move to do to crossover. He's got a decent crossover. Decent. It's a little on the slow side. Not changing the world with that. Let's see his hezzy behind the back. Ooh, that's nice though. Oof. Oof. His hezzy behind the back is ridiculous. And let's look at his launch out of his hezzy, see if you get a mix-up out of that. Yeah. So that's what you do with Marcus Smart. All right. With Marcus Smart, you got a hezzy and launch or hezzy behind the back. That's his stuff. You don't want to be crossing over too much. I'm gonna say his crossover is kind of bad. It's kind of a bad crossover. Nobody in the park would ever use this crossover, but it doesn't matter because his hezzy sick, his between the legs decent, and his hezzy behind the back is unreal. So he can hezzy launch and hezzy behind the back. That's actually kind of exciting because I really just got this card for you guys so I could show this to you. I was gonna put him right back up on the auction house. Now I'm at least considering keeping him. I don't know. Because he is more of a pure slasher than anybody else I have not named Westbrook. But he's not dunking right now, which is a little alarming. Westbrook would have definitely dunked every single one of those I just did. So maybe he doesn't have as good of a dunk package. As we know, Westbrook's dunk package is the park dunk package of choice for playmaking slashers because his dunks are so elite. So with Mitchell, he's got a nice side-to-side dribble there too. That's a nice dunk animation. So his right-hand dunk animation is very good. I'm going to pop into the chat in a second, guys. Just wanted to get through the first few animations so anybody who's watching the video can, get a good look at what he's bringing to the table. It's got a nice little... Yeah, his hezzies are really good. I would give his dunk animations a B+. They're definitely not Westbrook good, but they're good. They're definitely good. You're probably going to be really successful going to the basket with this guy. See his hop. I did that from pretty far away, so I'll give him another chance. But I'm going to say, at least in the freestyle mode, I feel like his dunk rating is not... I feel like his dunk rating is just an empty number. Like, just for comparison, right? Since we have him here. Let's see Westbrook doing the same stuff. Alright, so I'm just behind the back, hop dunk. He's not doing it either. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the stamina hit. Because Westbrook dunks everything. Yeah, Westbrook dunks. Anytime you give Westbrook a chance to dunk, he's going to dunk. That's why I still have him on the team. And you can see his dunk animations is just wild. Yeah, Westbrook's a better dunker. If you just popped in and you're confused, this is a Donovan Mitchell video. Why am I using Westbrook? I'm comparing their dunking because they will play a similar role in the offense. Sometimes I'll throw a Westbrook in at the 2 and just run him as a slasher, especially if somebody's using a character that doesn't have clamps. That's why I keep Westbrook in the lineup. Because if you run somebody that has clamps, I just put Westbrook in and then run past you until you come to your senses. So... Westbrook, as you can see, he's dunking you saw how far back I pressed it. Now let's look at Donovan. I'm doing the same things. I'm the same human being controlling the characters, doing the same stuff I always do. And Mitchell seems to be, for a guy with a 90 dunk rating, he seems to be underperforming. He's got slower gathers. He's an inferior dunker to Russell Westbrook. Now, he does have range extender, and he's a way better three-point shooter. But Donovan Mitchell, you would think... in real life, he's not as good of a dunker as Westbrook is at his peak, but he's still a really, really, really good dunker. But I feel like he's a little bit less than that in the game. So I would say buyer beware on that. You see his momentum is nasty. That's a beautiful dunk. So it looks like a mixed bag with his dunking. Again, with Westbrook, it's just like, as soon as you touch the character, you're like, whoa, this is what it's supposed to feel like. He's in that, elite dunking category. But with Mitchell, he's good, but not great. Which is funny because that's what I titled the video, is he good or is he great? The dunking is good, but you guys can probably see from the animations yourself that it's not on the same level as Russell Westbrook. Alright, I'm popping into the chat now, see what's going on. Cam Powell, Matt Skizzy, El Rio, how y'all doing? You think he's more of a contact dunker? I mean, Westbrook gets it in. So, but yeah, you're saying more of a contact dunker than here. I mean, that's possible. You know, so that is something that we can't test in freestyle. Um, so that is a factor. But all right. So we looked at his shooting, we looked at his momentum dribbles. Let's look at his leaners before we get into the. Oh, whoa! Do that again. Ah, it's a. Wow, that is weird. Why does he turn into Lonzo Ball when he does his leaner to the right? And he pulls the ball like way behind his head? That is awkward. That is a really weird animation. Huh. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. Oh yeah, we gotta look at his layups too. Alright. Didn't love that. Solid layup animation going right. Let's look at the cradle going right. He did a Euro step, and I went the opposite direction, but we're gonna give him another chance to redeem himself. That's the cradle. Ooh, don't love that cradle. Yeah, so I think he's a victim of some up and down animations. He's just got some really up and down animations. So the thing about the cradle that's really good is when people are just chasing you down to block you, those cradles that take a little extra long, you can do that to change your pace, right? Like that's the one thing about the hop step that's good is you can change your pace, and the cradle allows you to change your pace. So when a character has a fast cradle, you don't really have an option to change your pace outside of the hop step. Let's look at his Euro step. What's up, Shackles? Yo, thanks so much, man. I'm glad you enjoying the channel, dude. Yeah, we're getting it in here, letting the people know what these cards can really do. Go beyond the stats and the badges. The attributes and the badges. I always call them stats, but y'all know what I'm saying. Really slow Euro step. And see, the same thing like with the Euro step, you just want him to change direction and fool people. You know, he goes far, but he goes up kind of slow. Let's look at his floater. We're going to check the badges, see if he has teardropper on gold or Hall of Fame as well. That's a really easy to see floater. It's slow. It's very slow. That's a good one. So the really far away floater is pretty solid. Yeah, solid floater. Go into the basket, I would definitely, like if I'm in that 16-foot area, I would out for the floater with Donovan. Don't love that he missed that full white bar floater. So yeah, his animations, some of his animations are like S class, and some of them are like B minus class, you know? So he's not an animation god. His momentum is really sick. His dunking, it says he has a 90 dunk, but he doesn't feel like a character with a 90 dunk. He feels like a character with more of an 80 dunk. He doesn't even feel as good as Dennis Smith Jr., who I used to have on his team, but I think I took him out so I could test other cards. But you go to dunk with Dennis Smith Jr., and he loses his mind. Same thing for Westbrook. Whereas with Mitchell, see, like right there, I didn't even like really do a move before that, and that's what he did. Really nice shot release. Generally great hot zones. He's missing the one from the middle of the floor, but that's okay. That's not the end of the world. Again, excellent release. Like just really great release. So yeah, let's see the in and out. Good in and out. Really good in and out. Quick. Looks like he's changing direction. So when people are, so you can either hezzy behind the back, you can hezzy explode the same way, or you can in and out and keep going. Let's look at his half spin. Decent half spin. It's not quite like glitchy. It's a little tight in the same spot. Some people's half spin actually looks like they're going to spin, and it actually fools people. Like it actually gets people to jump the wrong way. So yeah, his half spin's pretty good. So yeah, so that should do it for his animations. Unless let's look at his regular spin move. He looked at his half spin. Let's see his regular spin. So that's spin with the turbo. Pretty slow. Let's try it without. Same thing. But his dunk out of that was very nice. So props to him for that. So yeah, his momentum's sick. His momentum behind the back is sick. His hezzy is really great. His moving hezzy is really nice, as you can see here. I mean, that's beautiful. Beautiful. So he's got his ups and downs. You have to play around the animations you don't like with this character. He's not a character like Oscar Robertson and Lowry, where every single animation in their suite is great. but he's got some stuff going with him. He's got a really nice right to left double cross going on, which you can use to set up the behind the back. Yeah, and the momentum cross. So that's great. You know, so you can deceive a little bit with that. Try a little boop boop action. Boom, boom. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, so... Oh yeah, let's check his explosive quick first step. Oh, very nice explosive quick first step. You can definitely feel the quick first step. All right, let's get into the stats. We've gone long enough to his animations. I hope you guys got a good idea of what he can do. I would give his overall animations a A-. He's got some that are S tier. He's got some that are B-. Not bad animations for the most part. He doesn't have anything like super alarmingly bad. I would say the thing I'm most disappointed by is his leaners are super awkward, and it looks like they're going to get blocked. They're like a weird in-between between going straight up and like doing a fadeaway, like a Kobe Jordan fade. He's in the in-between area, so I don't love that. And his he dunks when he doesn't dunk like the elite dunkers in the game, even though he has an elite dunk rating, which is disappointing. And he's got some kind of iffy layup animations. But the animations of his that are good are like really, really, really strong. All right, so let's see. I mean, as you can see, the shooting is out of this world. See, with my coaching boost, he has a 95 driving dunk. I think we can agree. It just doesn't look like a guy with a 95 driving dunk. Like he did so many layups when I was holding turbo. Kind of alarming. So when comparing him directly to Marcus Smart, he's going to be generally stronger going to the basket. But he is a significantly worse passer. He's not a terrible passer, but he's worse than Marcus Smart, who is roughly elite. Said in Unlimited, it's more about drawing fouls than making leaners. We're going to get to that with the draw fouls, because he definitely has a great draw foul rating. So he has no post game to speak of. Rebounding is terrible. Perimeter defense is a 99. His interior defense is a 50. This is why I would consider Marcus Smart a better point guard, for me anyway. He can get bullied. You know, this character can get bullied. Marcus Smart is not going to get bullied. Where's his rating? Well, you can see Clyde Frazier, because this is a very similar card, although range extender is the difference there. But Clyde Frazier has an 82 interior defense. Donovan Mitchell has a 50. So if you're playing triple threat online, Clyde is probably just a flat-out better player to take, because you don't have to worry about who the other team picks. I'm telling you guys, like I said in other videos, I flat-out locked up Zion Williamson, Diamond Zion, and a bunch of other post-up characters, like on switches and mismatches and rebounds and stuff. Clyde literally was just like, no. That's not going to happen with Donovan Mitchell. You're going to feel like you have a point guard with that 50 rating. Most likely, unless he's just surprising for some reason. He's a great perimeter defender, 92 steal. He's not going to get you any blocks with that 47 block unless he has chase down artist, which we'll find out soon. Excellent lateral quickness, good shot contest, good hustle. Speed is a 95 with the coach, that's excellent. Speed with the ball is a 91, also excellent. 95 acceleration, 98 vertical, which might help you with the blocks if he has the badge to go with it. So yeah, and a 60 strength. Could be worse, but he's not hanging out with what do you call it? I mean, Westbrook has a 75 strength. Like, look at these interior defenders I have access to, you know. Unfortunately, I took Marcus Smart. He has a 70 strength, you know. So of that group, he is the weakest in that regard, but he is an overall better offensive player than everybody else in my lineup. He's got the limitless range threes. He's got an excellent release. He can shoot off the hezzy. He's a threat going to the basket. He's a threat in the full court. He's a very good card. Is he a great card? To be honest with you guys, I think this is one of those cards that you have to play in a game to see if he's a great card. I think that, so like, it really is like, well, how does he perform in 5-on-5? How does he perform in TTO? I think in TTO, I would definitely rather have Westbrook or Frazier or Marcus Smart or even Kyle Lowry, because they have better interior defense. they're not going to get bullied the way this guy. He's going to get bullied at the first person that wants to post him up. So he's more of an unlimited player. It's definitely not that you can't play him in TTO. I'm sure you can go in and cook with him in TTO and lock up other guards. But if they don't pick guards and they pick forwards and they just decide to abuse the matchup, those other cards I mentioned, Clyde and Marcus Smart, they're going to be very stout in that situation by comparison to Mitchell, who's going to suffer a little bit. So let's look at his badges. Eli Rio, yeah, Jason Kidd's another one. I don't mention Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd's actually a really good card. We all know his release is a little on the slow side, but outside of a slow release and no range extender, well, Kidd doesn't dunk a lot. He can dunk, but he's not a dunker. But you talk about defense, hitting the open shot, ball handle. Kidd is exceptional. He's like elite in speed. He's elite in every category except for shooting and dunking. But Mitchell is elite in shooting and dunking, which is worth mentioning. But I do think in TTO, if you're running a guard, it's important for that guard to be able to defend on the inside. Much less so than in Unlimited, where guards aren't inside very much. They have center help. All right, so let's see. So he's got Hall of Fame consistent finisher, which again could make his dunking better in gameplay than in freestyle. Acrobat, contact finisher, same thing. That fancy footwork that Marcus Smart didn't have, he does have. Fast break finisher, which is nice to get your takeover up a little bit. He's got lob cities. You get some cheesy lobs going on. Showtime. So this guy's going to be a takeover monster. He's going to get a takeover really quickly every time you get a dunk. He's got a lot of things going on with his takeover when he gets a dunk. And I can tell you in Park, I use that to my advantage when I have space for those badges. Let's look at his shooting. Hall of Fame. Catch and shoot, difficult shots, green machine, tireless shooter, volume shooter, gold, clutch shooter, dead eye, flexible, hot start, hot zone, pump fake, quick draw, range extender, and slippery off ball. And what's missing here? Steady shooter. So you should have no problem shooting with this character. He only has 5 playmaking badges. And he has no dimer, no floor general. So I'm definitely selling this card because I can't run him at point guard. I'm not sinking this much resources into a 6'3" guard. I pretty much don't care how good he is. He's a 6'3" guard with bad interior defense. So yeah, he's a no-go for me right here because Marcus Smart has all of that. And even Westbrook, you look at his playmaking badges. He's awesome. Let me look at this. I don't even have to read him off. He's fantastic. Same thing for Smart. The only thing keeping Marcus Smart from being elite is that floor general's not Hall of Fame, dimer's not Hall of Fame, and he doesn't have tight handles. But he is a A-tier playmaker. And Westbrook, he is a A-plus tier playmaker. And then obviously Clyde is an elite S-tier playmaker, right? And then by comparison, Donovan Mitchell, D-tier playmaker. He's a bad playmaker, So with that being in mind, I'm going to buck him down to good. He's a good card. You can run this card. Those badges of Dimer and Floor General, they are make or break for me. I like having the rest of my team get better when the character's on the floor. In particular, just to get into a little detail, so I was playing with Giannis and Clyde Frazier in Triple Threat Online, and they doubled Clyde because they're thinking we're going to let you shoot with Giannis. And I can tell you this from my Park and Rec Center experience too. You can actually feel how tremendously big the green window is off of a Hall of Fame dimer pass. Like you can literally see the bar. It is so crazy that I asked one of my friends, "Oh, you must have Hall of Fame dimer on," just because I saw his shot meter. I could actually see the Hall of Fame dimer take that last bit of the shot meter and scoop it up into the green. So it's something I forgot what the exact number is, but it's something crazy that's a nice hop step dunk. 35% boost. It's really incredible. It turns a mediocre shooter into a knockdown shooter, that Hall of Fame dimer. And then the floor general is giving him the extra 4 shooting points. So Giannis is starting from an 84 when Clyde's on the floor. I'm sorry, at 83 when Clyde's on the floor. So all that considered, for me, those badges are make or break. If those badges aren't make or break for you, you can run Donovan Mitchell at the point guard and probably feel like you have a pink diamond, to be honest with you. He can do all that. Like he can behind the back. Like a lot of these cards can't behind the back and heads you into a limitless range shot with the ease that he can, while also having clamps and everything else. Speaking of which, let's get to those defensive badges before we forget. But yeah, very very disappointed in those playmaking badges. That's the biggest negative so far, is that he's actually not a point guard. So he's got gold clamps again, not Hall of Fame like some of the other cards we're dealing with. Heart Crusher, Interceptor, Lightning, Pick Dodger is important. Pickpocket, solid. No Intimidator. So this guy's a vastly inferior defender to Clyde Drexler and Marcus Smart. Clyde Drexler, Clyde Frazier, Walt Clyde Frazier. Clyde Frazier and Marcus Smart, and I would throw Jason Kidd in there, and Gary Payton. They are elite. They are the elite defenders in this game. Like totally elite. I would throw Lowry in there, but Lowry is also short. These guys are bigger, right? These guys are the minimum of 6'3". You're talking about 6'3", 6'4", and big character model in the case of Jason Kidd. And they're elite, You see, he has Gold Intimidator. What's Smart's Intimidator? I think his is at Hall of Fame. Yeah, he has Hall of Fame Intimidator, right? So he's a lesser defender. And the gold to Hall of Fame thing is less important than the fact that he doesn't have Intimidator at all. So with no Intimidator, no significantly good playmaking badges, and when I say playmaking, I mean playmaking, not dribbling. Some iffy animations, I would say this is a good card. Is he worth 60K? I'd say probably yes. He's a very high level point guard. I'd put him behind Marcus Smart. I say if you're a range extender type player who's going to do that with your point guard, then you would have him ahead of Clyde. I don't have him ahead of Clyde because of Clyde's defensive versatility and overall, excellence. Like he doesn't have the range extender, but he's better in basically every other way. And with the dunking, I would say they might even be somewhat even, because Mitchell dunks more like a guy with a 75-80 dunk, less like a guy with a 90 dunk. Westbrook dunks like a guy with a 90 dunk. I'm still keeping Westbrook on the team because I feel like Westbrook is going to be more of a threat going to the basket in that situation where I just want to bring in a slasher. And Westbrook still has dimer and floor general and everything else. But you see Clyde dunking? They look equal in freestyle. Maybe it'll be different in a game, but Clyde dunks. Clyde goes to the basket. He just doesn't dunk like a maniac like Westbrook does. And look at Clyde's wingspan too. We didn't talk about Mitchell's wingspan, but Clyde is 6'4". He's taller. Look how far his arms go down to his shorts. You see that? He almost goes all the way down to the Nets logo there. So, and Clyde has a super butter release as well. So I love Clyde. He's fantastic. Let's look at Mitchell's wingspan. His arms, they look a little on the short side. Not like super T-Rex. He doesn't look like Alonzo Trier or anything, but you can see the difference, They don't look bad. They don't look great. But it's not like other characters where it's like, oh wow, this card has like stupidly long arms, so I'm going to play them accordingly. Look at Smart's wingspan. Since they both came out today, his wingspan looks about on par with Donovan's. His actually looks kind of short. He actually looks like he has a short wingspan. So his looks worse than Donovan's, but I don't think it affects the card because of how tremendous his badges are and the role that he plays. Like, he's not out here trying to dunk on people. He's going to be way worse at dunking. Even though he has a dunk rating more similar to Clyde, but his dunk animations are definitely not on par with Clyde. So he's the worst dunker in the group that I have showing you guys here. You see he has like a rim grazer style dunk package, but he's just such an elite defender. And he's also an elite shooter. He's just as good of a shooter as Donovan is. Like, they're the same shooting. His release feels a little bit slower than Mitchell's, but it's very, very good. I don't think it's too slow. It's just a little slower than Donovan Mitchell's, which, this wouldn't be an in-depth breakdown if I didn't mention that. So that's my review of Donovan Mitchell. He's a good card. It depends on how important, dimer and floor general are to you. That's the number one thing. above everything else. Number two, I think it's important to note that he does not dunk like a character who has a 90 rating. He doesn't have the elite dunk package that like Westbrook has. He doesn't seem to have the, I don't know if it's tendencies or what, but you guys saw Clyde right here in front of your eyes. Every time I went up with Clyde, he gave me a really good athletic dunk. So, you know, he doesn't dunk like he's not in the Westbrook tier of dunkers. He's not Dennis Smith Jr. He's not with those guys. So don't think of him as having the Westbrook stuff and the shooting stuff. He's a shooter with solid dunking. He's not Derrick Rose where he's like elite dunking along with elite shooting. And defensively, as I said in the Marcus Smart video, have we decided if he's better or worse than Marcus? Well, that's what we're getting into right now. So the thing about Marcus Smart, the thing that's, and this, if you guys could take one thing away from this video just across the board, right? When it comes from here on out, like as the meta is developing, this badge right here is what's going to separate the elite point guard defenders from the good point guard defenders, the Intimidator badge. NBA2k Lab, we all know this badge is good. NBA2k Lab just did a video breaking down exactly how good it is. Again, we all knew it was really good, but it's good to see people who've actually tested it. And this badge will be the difference to where you just see you're getting those extra stops. And the other thing that's going to be the big difference is these two ratings right here. We have interior defense. His is a 61, not super great, but his strength is a 70. Right? This is what allows you to defend inside. So, you know, if you have those badges, and if you get lucky, I don't think he has a post-up badge defender. No, he doesn't have a post-badge defender. Tireless defender is kind of a post-badge defender because your point guard doesn't become useless after getting post-up a couple of times. So that's good. But that strength, that interior defense, and that intimidator is now that's what an elite defender at the point guard means. What's up, Sweeper? Welcome to the chat. That intimidator is what's going to get you there. And if you look at does John Starks have it? If John Starks has it, John Starks has it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, John Starks is actually a slightly better point guard than Donovan Mitchell. Like, they're actually very close in a lot of ways. Donovan Mitchell's just faster. And he has better finishing badges. But for Amethyst, that's dirt cheap versus a 60-something K card. If you're playing him spot minutes at the point guard, you know, I'd rather have the guy who has Intimidator than the guy who doesn't. You know what I mean? So John Starks has Intimidator. Does Westbrook have it? So Westbrook has gold clamps. He has bronze Intimidator, right? So even in that, I mean, again, we know Westbrook's not as good of a shooter, but Westbrook has a really, really good shot release. And he has that bronze range extender, kind of making him a little bit better. And we know Clyde has Hall of Fame Intimidator. Clyde is, I think Clyde is possibly the best defender in the game. The best, you know, guard defender in the game. On the wing, him and Jason Kidd. Can't keep forgetting Jason Kidd. So Clyde, Jason Kidd, they're like way, way up there on the defense. So if you're choosing between Smart and Donovan Mitchell, the number one thing you're choosing is, do I need Dimer and floor general? Because Smart does not have, Donovan Mitchell does not have any form of Dimer or floor general. And Marcus Smart has them both on gold, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, he has them both on gold. So that's number one. After that, it's the fact that you know Marcus Smart is a way better defender. Donovan Mitchell's not a trash defender. He's not a turnstile. But if you're taking these characters into Triple Threat Online, I think Marcus Smart beats Donovan Mitchell on the defensive end, hands down. Because most likely, if it's as true of him as it is of Clyde, Smart is will be a much better interior defender. Clyde is a very good interior defender. I have to play Smart in TTO to see if he's as good as Clyde because his numbers are a little bit worse. Clyde is stellar. I was shocked by how good Clyde was. Clyde cannot be bullied. I know Jason Kidd cannot be bullied. I'm not sure if Marcus Smart is fully in that class, but his numbers are close, so I'm leaning towards yes. We know for sure Donovan Mitchell is not in that class. And when it comes to the dunking, as you can see, I mean, Marcus Smart dunks, Donovan Mitchell dunks. Donovan Mitchell dunks slightly better than Marcus Smart. I don't know if that's enough, you know, for you to make that decision. So it's all up to you. With these two cards, they are close, except the Marcus Smart is a much better defender and a much better playmaker. Like way, way, way better. They're both equal on shooting, roughly equal on the animations. The only thing I say about the animations is Donovan Mitchell has some like nightmare good animations, where Marcus Smart is just a bunch of good animations. Like there's nothing in Marcus Smart that I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna do this to somebody. Whereas if I'm playing Donovan Mitchell, that hezzy behind the back, the hezzy explosion, and the in and out are outstanding with him. Like really, really, really good. So he has some like bona fide kill animations. Marcus Smart is just solid all around. You know, he's got a nice shooter's hezzy. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm staying with Marcus Smart because I value the defense. I value the interior defense. And I mean, you see the dunking. He dunks well. He doesn't dunk as well as Mitchell, but Mitchell doesn't dunk as well as Westbrook. So I don't trust him as a pure slasher. I'm personally going to sell the Donovan Mitchell card. I'm not advising you guys to do the same. If you're playing Donovan Mitchell at the 2, then the playmaking stuff might not affect you as much. But I would rather have him at the 1 because at the 2, I'm looking at, you know, the McGrady, Kobe class of characters. I'm not looking to run a 6'3 guy without Intimidator. If he had Intimidator, I would do it. In fact, I would rather run Marcus Smart at the 2 than run Mitchell at the 2 because I know Smart's not going to get bullied. And again, his dunking is actually surprising. I can't stress enough, Donovan Mitchell feels more like a dunker with a 75-80 rating than he does as a dunker with a 90 rating. Westbrook feels like he has a 90+ rating. Mitchell is a little below that. But that wraps it up, guys. I hope this was informative for you. I hope this helped you out in deciding whether or not you want to pick Donovan Mitchell. Despite my criticisms of the card, I think he's a good card. I think he might even be a little better than good. You know, I think he's very good. It's just he's just a few animations, a few like his dunk package is not there. He doesn't have the playmaking badges, so he's not a legitimate point guard, and that for me takes him down from being in. You know, it takes him out of my lineup. I don't know if that'll take him out of your lineups, but that's good enough to take him out of my lineups because I have Westbrook as my dunker, I have Clyde as my do-it-all character, and I have Marcus Smart as my 3-and-D character. And Donovan doesn't fit into that because I don't think Donovan is such an elite offensive player that it'll make up for not helping out the rest of the team with those 2 super, super OP badges. All right? Thanks so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one.